Hello and welcome to Paranoid Pensions on a Bus. 5 to 10 minutes of topical pension talk with a bit of paranoia and a slice of grumpiness. My name is Ralph Turner and my guests today are Henry Tapper. Welcome, Henry, founder of Pensions PlayPen, and Alan Higham, who is pensionchamp.com. Good to see you, Alan.
Good to see you.
Glad to have you guys here. We are at the end of Pension Awareness Week, right in the centre of London. Good place to be discussing pensions. I thought I'd start with something that's been hitting the pension press this week. The pension regulator appears to have found a further 500,000 employers that he'd lost first time around, Henry. That's a little startling.
To lose 500,000 employers might be regarded as careless. To find them, miraculous. But that's not my beef. I'm well pleased to see another 500,000. That's just what everyone
What are you grumpy about then?
What I'm grumpy about is a certain payroll company, which goes very well with onions, who are charging £250 to sell their dodgy products into the market and getting the pension regulator along as a kind of bait to get their customers to come to their meetings. We think this is an abuse of the regulator's time. We think it's a ridiculous waste of people's money, and we think that particular payroll company associated with onions should think again.
Very good. Well, I'm sure we'll see something of that on your blog before you're sued or after, but we'll see.
HenryTapper.com, it's there already.
Alan, one of the things that goes along with all of this, of course, is the whole pension freedom issue, because the fact that we've got these pension freedoms mean we're needing more advice. There's tons of stuff in the press. Piece here in Professional Pensions, politicians urge to clarify what is retirement advice, what is not. Lots to think about there in terms of freedoms and the abuse of those freedoms.
Yes, well, the number one question I'm getting through my website from ordinary people is about their state pension. What's becoming quite clear is people do not understand what they are going to get from the state. What they do know, though, is they've read in the newspapers over the last 12 months, they think they're going to get £8,000 a year. The reality is different.
Yeah.
Only 1 in 3 people are actually retiring in the next 5 years are going to get that amount.
Yeah.
The vast majority aren't. My worry is many of those might have blown £10,000-20,000 of their private pension in the last 6 months on something, thinking they're going to get more from the state. I really do think we need to have a very government-led publicity campaign correcting the impression that most people will get 8,000, because that won't happen for a while.
It's a big issue, and of course the issue behind that, as far as I'm concerned, is that the Treasury push to these pension freedoms is not to do with freedom, it's to do with more money in the coffers. But that's probably another debate. We're going to take a short break now, be back in a minute. Welcome back to Paranoid Pensions. I'm here today with Henry Tapper and Alan Higham. Alan, one of the interesting statistics in the latest edition of Employee Benefits tells me that only 59% of workers have any understanding of their employer's contributions. So what hope have they got of not being caught up in pension scams and everything else that's around at the moment?
Indeed, and the pension scam activity has spiked enormously since the pension freedoms came into force. People can now get their hands on their pension money and invest it in all kinds of weird and wonderful schemes, to the delight and thrill of many crooks and fraudsters out there. And really, my beef is their life is too easy for the crooks. I think we need to have a very simple 3-step approach to dealing with them. The first thing is to ban all cold calling to sell unregulated investment products.
Right.
The second is to get out a simple message to the public that only deal with regulated firms, be it advisors or buy regulated investments. And the third thing is to have effective prosecution of people who break these rules.
Excellent.
let's make
Yeah.
it hard
Yeah.
for criminals to succeed.
Good, fully agree. Well, you heard it here on Paranoid Pensions. I hope those of you watching this are going to be taking that up. That's a key issue. Henry, one of the key issues, of course, is to do with the advice around that. I think pension-wise have found themselves some new bosses, haven't they?
That's absolutely right. Out with the Treasury, in with the DWP, and not before time, we say.
Okay. With your pension geek glasses on, no less.
Absolutely right.
And you think that's a better home for them?
Yeah, there's no doubt that the pension-wise service has been somewhat inhibited by the Treasury, and its leading light, Michelle Cracknell, is now going to have much more freedom to actually get out there and do good works under the auspices of the benevolence DWP.
And the benevolence of our pension minister, Ros Altman. I mean, she's been getting herself in hot water, of course, joining the Labour Party.
Yes,
Tory
yes.
minister.
The Red Baron.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Or the Red Baroness. Yes, of course. Ros was never short of a few bob, but she decided she was going to skimp some more by becoming a member of the Labour Party and saving herself lots of conference fees. You don't have to pay them if you're a Labour Party member. But she was a bit of an incompetent baroness because she forgot to cancel her subscription when she became a Tory peer, and so she's now one of the few crossbenchers who's a member of both parties, or at least she was.
Well, she was
until found out.
Yes.
By the Huffington Post, actually. Yeah.
I think it was, yeah. We're getting a lot less alt-mania in the press, though, I'm glad to say. A lot less of those headlines in the Express, Alan, as regards Ros Altman.
Well, Ros has got to make the difficult step from being a populist in the press calling for things to making difficult decisions about doing things, and we're probably just over 100 days into her post, and we're all waiting to see what steps she will take. You know, she said
She's been remarkably quiet.
Well, she said her priorities are communicating the state pension better. Totally agree with that.
Yeah.
The second thing she also says she wants to do is crack down on pension scammers. And the third thing is to help small employers with auto-enrolment.
Right.
They're all worthy priorities, so we look forward to seeing what action she does take.
Okay, well, thank you very much for this edition. End of Pensions Awareness Week on a bus. You'll see more of Paranoid Pensions in the future. Up on screen right now, you've got directions to have a look at the Pension Geeks site. That'll give you more information. And as always, I really should finish with a bit of a corny joke. It just wouldn't be Paranoid Pensions otherwise. Old journalists never die. They just get depressed.
Oh.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.